All right, guys, episode 178. It is 10:27 in the morning, June 25th, 2026 of Neil with Seven Figure Pathway. Now, you do remember that I started with the account of $500, right? And the idea is to take it to 1.9 million over 1 year. It may take a little longer, but the original projection I put in place is to take it to 1.9 million over the course of the year. Now, I have clearly shown you guys that you can take something very small and grow it if you look for the right stocks. Look, to take something from $27, yes guys, $27, and grow it to 80 something, right? And take it a notch higher and go over $100, it clearly shows you guys, and this is June 24th, so look at it. June 18, June 24th, that means that it is very possible to grow something small to something very big, right? Unfortunately, in this small account challenge, I have broken a lot of the rules that I put for myself at the beginning, because sometimes, and you know what's the hardest thing about all this here, guys, is that I feel like I'm letting you down. I'm not only letting myself down, but I feel like I'm letting you guys down, every single viewer in the channel, no matter if it's subscribed or not, because I'm supposed to be a role model and a leading example that showing you guys that you can take $500 and actually grow it. You don't need $10,000. You don't need $25,000. You don't need $100,000 to make money in the stock market. What happens is, prior to June 4th, that the pattern day trader rule was removed, I clearly was doing everything very well prior to that day. Remember that? Even after the day came through, June 9th, the account was at $2,323. If you guys watch every single video, you guys see that the account grew exponentially. And I was beating the $1,919 by the second month, which is June 20th. You guys clearly saw that I made it there on June 9th, ahead of the June 20th. You know what I'm saying? What happened is, and you know the best thing about me, as hard as it is for me to admit it, but I'll say it, is number one, I broke the rules that I have in place for this small account. Yes, being able to buy a stock and sell it immediately feels good because you can lock your gain. But emotionally, psychology in this trading of buying and selling stocks is you want to look for the right things. Just because you can buy and sell something should not influence your trading in buying stocks and selling it, that I'm going to get in and get out whatever happens, right? That's the wrong way of doing things, and you will get in a position that you get lucky. But maybe you don't get lucky in another position. You know what I'm saying? And the mind of a human being feels good when it wins, right? But the mind beats you up when you take a loss. And that's why I said in all the previous videos, don't focus too much on a loss, but remain focused on the gainers, on the winners, right? Because the idea is to take a loss here and there, but grow the account at a faster rate by taking good wins. What happened with me in this small account challenge is I have let emotions get the best of me in this trading, because I feel like I'm letting you guys down and that I have to climb myself back very quickly, and that's not the right way to do it. And I clearly shown through the chart, if you look at this chart, from 27 up to above $100, it clearly shows that I can do it. It clearly shows, guys, that I can do it. If we go back and why I'm talking about this, because not for me to rub in your face that I had the account growing and then I beat it down where it's down to $19. It's not to show you that, but to show you, if you understand what I'm trying to point out, that you can do this remaining calm, finding the right things in the markets, using Finviz, right? Not getting greedy, because I have personally gotten greedy on some trades, and you go in and you sell out with the gain that you have, guys. I have been in some trades that worked out very well. But what happens is the greedy side of me comes in and forces a trade. And what do I mean by forcing a trade? You feel like you need to get back on another stock to make more money. And that's the greedy feel behind the moves. And you will be beat up, because when you force a trade, you're positioning yourself for a loss instead of a gain. And you can clearly see from the 500, it went up by June 8th. Right? It went up by June 8th to 2044. And that wasn't the highest point. I don't know this thing is going to show me that anymore. Yes, it will. It will. All right? And you can clearly see that by June 9th, I don't know if that June 9th, it was up 22.61 and 23.23 right before I took it off the cliff. I don't want you to watch these videos and get discouraged. By no means, guys. I want you to continue to watch the videos and learn from the things that I point out, because the idea of this account is to show you guys that no matter how much you know or how long you've been doing it, or whether you haven't done it at all, in the past or anything like that, you're a newcomer to the channel and doing the stocks, is that if you take your time, you don't come in with a mindset that you got to get rich overnight. You're going to be growing something small slowly over time to something much bigger. As your account grows, you're not going to get cocky and overconfident. Guys, remember before June 4th, I was saying buy anything below $1 that goes up a lot and it pulls back down. You know what I'm saying? You buy the lowest point and then you sell the bump up. When it spikes back up, you sell that, right? Those are steady gains. And I remember prior to June 4th, I was laser focused on trades like that. Yes, I could get on a trade, that looked right, and I was making more gains on top of that. But I went from being a conservative, small, consistent growing on the account to being more aggressive and trying to push and grow at a faster rate. And the idea in this buying and selling stocks, guys, is not to rush trades, to feel the need to be in a stock every single day, because some of these trades, they will prove you wrong. And it hurts deeply, guys, because it hits your ego, it hits your soul, it hits your mind, your spirit very hard. And if you're not careful, you'll lose yourself, and you will never trade another stock. And you think it feels good being down to $17? Of course not. Of course it does not feel good to be down at $17. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that you cannot turn that around and make it grow again. Yes, you can. It's just you won't be able to buy a bunch of shares on a specific stock depending on what it is and which one it is. You know what I'm saying, guys? But if you take away from yourself, just like I'm gonna be focusing on this now, going back to to the roots that I established when I first opened up this little account and started growing the small account, is you don't want to force a trade, and you don't have to trade every day if there isn't something that is going to be looking like it's going to give you a gain. You know what I'm saying? The other thing is, part of the beat down on myself is the need that I have to make money so I can show you guys a video showing the account growing. That's the other thing that I have personally beat myself up to trying to force trades, to get the account to grow back up and look good for you guys making these videos. And I think I'm wrong there. I'm supposed to be just focusing on just me buying the right things, and automatically you guys will be seeing a video of the account growing. But I think I beat myself up deeper, where I feel like I've let you guys down, and and I went around and I talked to a lot of people and I said, look, if I can do this, so can you, and it doesn't matter if you're an elderly person, doesn't matter if you're very young, you can still do this. But you have to be patient, you have to be disciplined. And I think I broke a lot of those rules, where that's the reason why I'm at these levels, because I have made some serious money. and I continue to make some serious money, but I'm not being disciplined.